Hello, this is an assessment of a Richard Lipp upright piano 1898, and it's an assessment to see what needs doing. We're going to store this piano with a view to us using it for rental for 5 years, and we've asked the client to get it polished first because it won't really rent out like it is. We can't really use it because it's the case isn't good enough. In fact, this panel here has been changed. The piano is actually rosewood. This panel may not be rosewood, it looks more like mahogany, and we're going to have to see if that matches in properly. We do French polishing on pianos, and there's an example of something in the polishing room. This is a walnut Bluthner grand piano, and we apply about 30 coats of French polish, finishing off by waxing and antique waxing. So I don't think there's any doubt about this piano needing repolishing before it's rented out. The key tops are quite good. We're going to check those that are not likely to come off in the near future, because that's obviously a problem if it's rented out, but I don't think we've got much problem with those keys. Look at the inside of the piano. It's in generally quite good condition. The hammers have been refaced, but the tone of them is good. And improved slightly by replacing them, but really not that significantly. And the dampers, well, they're not pulling off at exactly the same time as each other, as you can see, but it's damping very well indeed, and generally the action's pretty well regulated. It's not perfectly regulated, but it's quite good. Tuning's at A440 at constant pitch, and the tuning pins haven't been knocked in at all, so that's a good sign. We test the tuning pins to make sure they're tight, but I think we're fine there. So technically speaking, the piano's pretty good. There's been a replacement bass string, but it's been done well, a good match tone-wise. So that's encouraging. So generally pretty good on the inside. There's some replacement tapes here which have been done well, and the rest of the tapes don't look as though they're about to break, so that's also a good sign. The key dip is at about 10.5. This is an 11mm key dip measurer. It doesn't quite have enough aftertouch on it. When you put the hammer towards the string, there's doesn't any feeling of aftertouch, so we ought to increase that by about 0.5 millimeter. Would be nicer for aftertouch. So I like to set the normally key dip at 11. It's usually about right for most pianos, so there's slight variety according to the make of the piano. So that's a Lipp upright piano 1898, and it's been bought in to assess with a view to renting it out. From what we've seen, we need to repolish the piano and some minor regulation, but generally in good condition. It's a beautiful tone as well. Very rich bass, Richard Lipps do. There's a bit of toning around there. So, excellent piano. Thank you very much for listening. So we've now completed work on the Richard Lipp, and particularly the polishing, if you remember, that was what was really needed to be done. And we've actually replaced the front panel with rosewood veneer because it was impossible to work on what we had there. So now you can see the French polish. It's been about 30 coats of French polish waxed and antique wax, so that it gives you a nice finish, and you can see the grain, not too much reflection on it. So that's a Richard Lipp upright piano, repolished and ready now for renting out. We've done the minor regulation, we've done fine tuning as well. Now the client doesn't want the piano back yet, so we offer up 5 years storage free, and we will use the piano for rental. We'll use the piano maybe for clients who give us their piano to restore, or maybe for people who come to Oxford for a short-term study. Thank you very much for listening.